This is Gene at DNS Bait, and this report is current as of Friday the 15th here. We're already at the middle of May. I can't believe it. Water temperatures that were on a warming trend have cooled off a little bit. We're looking at mid-50s for most of the chain. On a warm afternoon, the water temperatures have warmed up into the low 60s, but for the most part, we're in the mid-50s right now. Up here on Lake Mendota, the catfish action seems to be marginal at the moment, but in the warm afternoons, Governor's Island, believe it or not, they've been catching quite a few cats around there. Still getting a few up in Cherokee Marsh. Crappie action's pretty slow on Lake Mendota, but the large and smallmouth bass have been fairly active in areas. Some guys have told me they've caught as many as 20, 25 bass in an outing, or not, but anyway, they've done pretty good at times. Crankbaits seem to be working pretty well right off the edge of the weeds or weed areas, anywhere from like 8 to 12 foot of water. The largemouth bass were in quite a bit shallower, but they seem to have slid out just a little bit with some of these cooler nights. Over on Lake Monona, the panfish action continues to be pretty decent over in Turville Bay and Squaw Bay. Out in that 4 to 6 foot of water, 7 foot of water seems to be pretty good, just fan casting with some small jigs under a bobber. They seem to be finding some pretty decent crappies and some fair-sized bluegills, up to 8 inches at times. Monona Bay area, I heard the shore guys are starting to pick up a few fish over in the triangles and stuff again, bluegills and a few crappies. I've heard a little bit of muskie action on Lake Monona. Actually, since opening weekend, there's been a little bit of muskie action. Opening weekend might have been some of the better action when it was a little warmer. So when it warms up again, I'm sure it's going to pick up, but that's been pretty decent. I haven't really talked to anybody who's done much with largemouth on Monona recently. They were in pretty shallow when the water was a little warmer, and I'm sure they will be again. Lake Waubesa has been real good this last week or so, week to 10 days, giving up a lot of nice-sized crappies, actually some big crappies. That Lake Farm Park area has probably been one of the more popular areas to fish, but there's been guys fishing down by Christie's and Goodland and down towards the south end of the lake too. Some days they're in around the piers, other days they're out a little bit deeper, but it just depends on the water temp and the day of the week, I guess. I haven't really heard any of that walleye action on Lake Waubesa, which was occurring last year at this time. There were guys doing some mid-lake trolling at this time already and doing well, but this year that seems to not be occurring at the moment. Lake Kegonsa, I did hear a little bit of crappie action, some bluegills down there, but I haven't heard enough to tell you exactly what's going on. It's been kind of quiet otherwise. A lot of the local shore fishermen have been heading up to Crystal Lake and Lake Wisconsin for crappies. Crystal Lake, of course, that south shore has been pretty decent, and on Lake Wisconsin, I've heard a lot of guys up at Harmony Grove and over by Oki, by the bridge there. They've been doing pretty good. A few walleyes once in a while there too. I think that's about all I got for you guys right now. So if something changes pretty drastically, I'll be back at you. But otherwise, you can call me here at the store, 608-241-4225. Thanks.